Hello. Hello, you beautiful soul. So I had a message come through today about ego stuff, right? And this might actually be a message for somebody that someone doesn't want to hear, right? Like sometimes we get messages that we just don't want to hear, but are very necessary, right? Just for our growth and evolution and things. And this particular message I have actually experienced. We continuously experience these things, right? There's just layers to the depth of these lessons that we have, right? But I remember the first time my friend like shifted my way of thinking in terms of my why, right? And as per my usual, I'll use myself as an example, okay? I'm looking at my fuzzy hairs on top. Silly. Anyway, sorry, that's irrelevant. So for me personally, I always wanted to heal my family traumas and stuff, like I knew, and that was one of my many purposes, my missions here. Ooh, email confirmation. 131. So with that being said, I took it very seriously, right? And the very, first half of my life, I spent 144 as I look back, spent observing, and not really being able to do much. And then a large chunk after that of my life, again, observing and still learning, but beginning to try and change some things, right? And then I got to this point last year where I was like, dang it, like I really want to get this stuff sorted out, but I feel like I'm the only one who's interested in facing these issues or doing this or whatever, And so I was talking to my friend, one of my 222 as I look back, one of my very best friends, her name's Nestle, and we grew up together, right? And I trust her. I know her, I trust her, and I know that she never says anything to me, to take me off course, right? So she was like, girl, I'm gonna ask you something. She was like, so whenever it comes to healing this family trauma, healing this stuff, like, she's like, are you doing it for you or are you doing it for them? Right? And I was like, what the heck kind of question is that? What do you mean, am I doing it for me or them? I'm doing it for all of us, And she's like, no, really, are you truly doing it for you or are you doing it for them? And I had to sit with that, right? Because, we're all always learning, right? And sometimes these ideas, these things channel through other people, and we get to choose whether or not we want to see the lesson or if we want to just continue in our narrow, mindset, limited mindset or belief, right? The things that are blocking us. 333 as I look back. So, I had reached a block because I was doing it still from a place of people pleasing. I still, last year even, was wanting to heal my family and seeking validation from them, and I was like, oh, maybe if I finally get through to them, they'll finally see me, right? Maybe one day they'll see me and appreciate everything that I've done, all the things that I recognize the patterns and how smart I am and what a genius I am and what a, brave, resilient person I was, and I still was wanting to do the thing from a place of ego and from a place of seeking validation, and I had to sit with myself on that one for a while, I was like, dang, girl slapped me smooth in the face, just like knocked me off. Excuse me, I'm like, got some crud. Anyway, so, I was just like, dad gum, paradigm shift. Got me on that one. And, you know, so I want to offer that same opportunity for whoever this is for, because sometimes we don't want to see that we are actually coming from a place of ego. And it's not that ego is bad, it's just that when you are coming from a place of seeking validation outside of yourself, you know, and it's like now that I had that understanding, you know, things have shifted for me in my life, but it wasn't until I was willing to receive it. And the moment that I received it is because it was coming from a friend that genuinely wanted the best for me, right? And that's me right now for you. Like, I genuinely want the best for you, and I really want you to be evaluating yourself and your why, you know, and to make sure that these things that you're doing are truly coming 555 from a place of unconditional love, right? So I had to shift that. And for myself, in terms of healing, you know, ancestral traumas and patterns and putting ends to these cycles, because it was like over all these years I had been doing the things, right? But in all those years, I was still seeking validation. And it wasn't until I no longer cared what my family thought of me. I no longer cared if they saw what I did, because I didn't need that validation anymore. I knew that what I was doing was worth something. I knew that what I was doing was honorable. And I knew that in here. And so I didn't have to do things from a place of lack, if that makes sense, you know? And people pleasing and seeking things outside of ourselves, you know? So I don't know who this is for. I love you dearly. Okay. I love you so much. I love you so much that I will give you this, you know, very kind talk about facing yourself and your ego and what your true intentions are when it comes to what you're doing. Because sometimes those small shifts in our perspective can clear out these blocks, you know? I know a lot of times in the spiritual community, or people who are into new age practices, think like you have to do all these, you know, all these big things and all this, you know, rituals and all these things for things to shift, or for these energies to be released. And it's like, no, yes, I'm not saying that those things aren't of value, but I'm saying that something as simple as watching a video on YouTube can completely shift your reality. It shifts your perspective and, you know, the way you respond to your environment, right? So anyways, I love you so much. You're amazing and you're needed. And yeah, I love you. So I can stare into your eyes forever, into your soul. Oh, also, if you're feeling like blocks in any areas and you do want help, or you do want, you know, a session with someone to hold space for you, even do Reiki, readings, guidings, channeling. I do all that stuff, right? So if you want to book with me, you can find all that information in the description box. So yes, I love.